Yo, it's me James and welcome back to another episode of Simply Survival. This is the series where I like to show you tips, tricks and tutorials, and of course, I like to do this in complete survival. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you a way improved version of my resin farm that I've recently posted on my channel. Now, this has had improvements from a good friend called DLM over on the Discord, so massive shout out to him. He basically refined it and then I refined it again, and now we have this thing. It is a lot better, let me tell you that. Not only does this make the resin blocks, not just the resin, but you are going to get way more resin than my other farm. This farm, you're going to make anything between 1800 to 3000 resin an hour. That is correct. Now, it does vary depending on how much the creaking spawns, because there can be 6 creakings that can spawn in this farm. However, they don't always spawn all the time. So if you are looking for something with way better rates, this farm is the one for you. Onto the video. If you did decide you wanted to build this farm, take a screenshot of the materials. This is everything you are going to need to build it. I've added some extra glass and an extra trident. Also, I think I've got some extra materials here as well, so you're probably going to have a few materials left over. Once you've got all your materials, you are going to want to find an area with some available sky building space, and then you're simply going to want to grab 30 blocks and build upwards. If you just grab 30 blocks, that way, as soon as you run out of blocks, you know you're on the right level. So that's exactly what I am going to do. And now we've gone 30 blocks above the ground, so the creaking does not spawn on the ground. We're going to place 4 blocks like this, and then on the edge like this, we're going to go all the way around those center 4 blocks. At this stage, I would recommend you finding your nerd pole wherever it is. For me, it's right here. So from this block, we're going to want to go 5 down. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now let's grab some glass, and we're going to do a temporary platform just here. I suppose it doesn't even need to be glass. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then let's just do another temporary platform right here. Again, yeah, I suppose it doesn't really need to be glass, but yeah, we'll just do that. And then what we can do is get rid of our nerd pole as well to keep things nice and tidy. I'll just throw another piece of glass there and get rid of the nerd pole. And now I've made my way back to the top platform. So we're going to place some holder blocks where we're going to have our creaking spawn module. So basically on each of the corners like this, we're going to go out 2 blocks. And then what we can do is remove the closest block to us. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. It'll look a little bit like that. This stage, it makes it easier to do this now. Put a log on each block like this, and then we're going to get our buttons and simply put buttons on the bottom. So we want to go all the way around the log. So that does mean we're going to have to jump on the log like this, and of course get the backs of the logs. And you really want to double check that you've not missed any out. There we go. We are good to go. And at this stage, we can focus back on this center. So we will grab our observers, droppers, pistons, and some blocks. So we're going to have a dropper facing this way, going across. And then we want the face going into the side of the dropper. And then another face going this way. And kind of follow that pattern all the way around. Now we're going to grab our observers. And we want the face of the observer going into the dropper. So point into the sidewards. Crouch and place your observer like this. And now we can fill the rest of this gap with solid blocks. And we can have a piston here, 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 and here. And then we can fill the sides with solid blocks. You might need to crouch down because of the droppers. And you should have something that looks a little bit like this. At this stage, let's go ahead and put a creaking on top of each one of these logs. A creaking heart, should I say. And then we're just going to get our logs again. And finish those off. So you know if they work because they've lit up. Like that. And then we're going to get a solid block and go on top of those logs again. Like this. At this stage, let's come to the back. And we're going to add a block here temporarily. And then a block here. And a block here. Block this side and this side. So we have 4 blocks there. That matches right here. And then we're just going to remove that. What you can do at this stage is place a hopper facing down. And then a hopper going into that hopper. Now let's remove that first hopper and face it into this hopper. So you might need to, I think it just went in there. Yeah, let me grab that. So we've got a hopper facing into a hopper. And now we can have our comparators. The first ones are the build, one there and one there. On top, we can then have our sticky pistons. So sticky piston, sticky piston. We're going to jump down here. We'll have a solid block on the end of that comparator and a solid block on the end of that comparator. We'll finish that off with a redstone dust and a redstone dust. And finally, a redstone block right here, like so. And now what I will do is just place a few holder blocks like this on the bottoms of these blocks. And basically jump onto them. And you're going to want pistons facing downwards like this on that block. You're going to want to make sure you've got a piston facing downwards all around that block. So I need to get to the other side. So let me just do this real quick. I'm going to want to do that to every single one. So that's why it makes it nice and easy. If you place these holder blocks, you can basically just, drop down onto them and place your pistons. Again, you want to make sure you're not missing any side of the top block. And if you place these bottom holder blocks well enough, you should just be able to walk to each one efficiently. And the final one, just there, like so. And now I can remove any holder blocks like this. So now I'm going to grab some glass and basically just bring this up to the same level as the pistons. In fact, I'm going to bring it up one higher. And then I'm going to grab my tridents and just throw them in, being as I'm doing some work on the trident killer. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, I'm not sure if 4 tridents will make a difference. Maybe it will. And we're going to have a lever just over here within reach. So at this stage, let's go ahead and do a little bit more spawn proofing. So I'm going to have a solid block here. Well, a glass block. And then I'm going to have a glass block here going across. And then one just in the side of that redstone. Additionally, I'm going to have a glass block there. Now what we can do is have a half slab here, and this is basically where I'm going to AFK because I can reach my lever. Basically, I'm going to need a solid block above my head, so I'm going to place this one, and I'm also going to need to put a half slab on that solid block, so just to make sure that nothing spawns on top of that solid block. So there we go. And now no phantoms will spawn. At this stage, we'll come to the back. And just underneath that redstone block, we're going to have a glass like this. And then we're going to have basically a glass going up. So you might want a temporary block and then a glass. And then you can remove that temporary block. And then we'll have a piece of redstone, redstone, redstone. And then we're going to have our observer. And basically we want the face of that observer going into that redstone like that. And now we can run our redstone dust all the way around the center of the pistons. You might need to add some corner blocks like this one. And then add it through the center. Like this. All the way to the end. And I'm pretty sure that is the redstone complete apart from the crafter bit. At this stage, let's grab our buttons, the remaining buttons, and on the remaining pistons that don't have redstone on, we're just going to spawn proof those by placing buttons. And don't forget, you are going to need to add a repeater. So on this one, on this corner, so it will come around the corner, just add a repeater here and you should be good to go. Last but no means least, add yourself a half slab here. You can also try out your lever like this. And you want to click it twice to get it working. Yep, that's all good. So now we're going to go down onto our second platform. Now on this platform, we've got these 4 blocks from each direction. We're going to add 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're then going to want to go back in like this. And we're going to want to do that in each direction. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And like I said, we're going to want to do that in all 4 directions. What I'm going to do now is basically link one side, and then you're just going to want to do the exact same thing on all 4 sides. So it's really, really easy pattern. You're basically going to want to go 1, 2, and then in 3, like this. So 3, and then 2, and then we should be able to reach over there. So 1, 2, and then 1, 2, and 3, and then you can obviously add that corner bit. But everything on the inside should be filled in anyway. So I'll just show you that one more time just in case. So we're just going to go 1, 2, and then 3 blocks. And then we're going to add another 2 blocks. And then we should be able to reach this side to add 2 blocks. And then 3 more blocks. And then everything on the inside should be filled in. And do that to all of the sides. And now we should have a little platform that looks a little bit like this. At this stage, we can add half slabs around the outside blocks. Now, it's important not to do the corner ones, just the outside ones, alright? So, we're going to miss the corners. And like I said, we're just doing the outside ones. So, we're going to go all the way around until we meet like this. And now we're going to want to add some water. So, the more buckets of water, the merrier. But you can just do this with 2 buckets so you can get an infinite source if you really want. But, yeah, the more the merrier. You're going to want to put a bucket of water in each corner like this. Being careful not to do the half slab. You want to do the glass just on the corner like so. And you're going to want to do every single corner. Now, you know if you've done this correct because it will leave a 4 gap in the center, which is the perfect amount of gap that we need. So let me put a bucket in each corner. We're nearly there. I'm just gonna have to go. Oh, I don't need to go grab one more, I don't think. Let me see. Bucket there, and we should be good to go. Yeah, so you'll know if you've done it right. You'll have a 4 gap like this. So now what we can actually do is grab our hoppers. We're going to grab also our pickaxe, and we're going to remove these 4, or at least 3. And what we can do is get our hoppers and go 1, 2, and 3. So they're going into each other. And this last one, we can get some temporary blocks and go down like this. And we're going to go up with the temporary blocks and basically have a hopper facing downwards. And now we want to go on that platform below. So I'm going to see if I can get down from this platform. Oh, just missed it. Sweet, I'm on the platform. We can remove those temporary blocks. And now, essentially, we are going to want to grab our chest. We can put a double chest here, like this. And we can also have a hopper facing downwards. Now, to obviously have a hopper facing down, you're going to need some more temporary blocks. And here, we're going to have another block with our barrel. And we're going to want our crafter with the face facing the barrel. So I think you have to face this way. Let me check. Yeah, you have to face that way. Now the face is going in. At this stage, we're going to need to do a little platform for some redstone for the crafter. So I think you need 6 pieces. No, we'll add 8 pieces like this. In fact, this piece is not needed. And we'll grab the remainder of the redstone. We'll have the comparator here, lever here, and 4 bits of redstone going into that comparator, crafter, sorry. We'll click that, and then we can click that, and that will constantly flash. So anything that goes in here will be made into this. So what we're going to do now is actually remove this, and all of them. And I can basically just fly on here if I need to grab anything. So at this stage, I'm pretty sure I'm 100% complete this farm. I'm just going to double check the top. Okay, yeah, there's one thing that I did actually add before. I'm not sure if it helps, but I think maybe it does. I'm going to have a bucket of water in the trident killer. I'm then going to have a button here. And I'm also going to have a button here. And what that will do is when I turn on the trident killer, it will kind of make a whirlwind, which also helps separate the creakings a little bit. Because when you get all 6 creakings in there, it can get a little bit hectic. So, yeah, I noticed sometimes they can just, like, not separate. Now, because of that water, if you like, you can also add some extra glass, which I'm going to do just to be cautious, because you don't want any creakings being able to get out right. And there we have it. That is build complete. What I am going to do now is, obviously, wait for sundown, which, I don't know how long it's going to be. Oh, quite a long time. But, yeah, at sundown, I'll be back so we can do some AFKing. Alright, so it is officially sundown. Just got to wait for the creaking to spawn. It shouldn't take too long. There we go. Perfectly on cue. So I'm just going to turn this on because they will still spawn when this is on. So I'll turn this on. Another thing, you want to activate it by looking at it and then turning away. So when another one spawns, that's what we're going to have to do. And it might also take a, like, I don't know, a few minutes for a few more to spawn. Sometimes it just, I don't know, it varies on the spawning. So, there you go. Just another one spawned randomly, as you can see. That one will be turned off. So, we'll just activate it, and then they'll merge. There you go. Should be good to go. Alright, now we've got number 3. Just making sure to look at it again. Yeah, so one of the main reasons as well I added the water is just to prevent them from merging. I noticed they just merged a little bit when you don't have them in the water, even if you're looking away. Dude, one thing I completely forgot is to put my blocks in here. So, yeah, you're going to need 10 blocks in here. Make sure you do that. Else it's not going to work. And now we should, yeah, actually start getting some resin. Lol. So, there they go. Technically, you can actually just leave this trident killer on because they will spawn with the trident killer on. So, if you're just, like, underneath, like, in the area, yeah, you'll be able to get some resin that way. Let's see how many we got at the end of the night. 43, not bad for the first night. Like I say, it does take a little bit of a while for all the creakings to kick in. So there we have it. That is my simple but upgraded resin farm. I do hope that this helps you out in your world. Again, if you think you got any more improvements, let me know in the comments below. But that's all I got time for today. I will catch you guys on the next one.